BTS Arvia, singled up on 46 on the move shortly.
Arvia, BTS, singled up, thank you.
Ahoy, shipmates! Yes, indeed, you heard down the radio, Arvia is singled up, and the...
VTS, the Red Falcon, good afternoon. Short departing raw paper cows, copy the Arvids, shortly away.
Red Falcon, VTS, all received.
And some of them...
BTS, call me fine.
Can't get a word in edgeways, yeah?
Army, name VTS.
BTS, call me fine. Yeah, good afternoon again. That's it, boy. Outbound to the east via the North Channel.
Army, name VTS, that's all received. And no immediate inbound traffic. And the gas supply gauge 4.52.
BTS, call me fine. Many thanks.
And some of the more observant of you might have noticed the P&O Arvia facing the wrong way, or facing the other way, maybe you should say, not necessarily the wrong way. Traditionally, P&O Arvia and P&O Iona have always parked in bow first. But today, she's tail end, bow going out for some reason. Potentially due to weather, so I've been told. Weather is very unpleasant today. That's Port Cam's view. Can't see a great deal on Netley, on Itching Cam. Can't see a great deal on Netley Cam. Box Cam's, I've got that trained on the bow of Arvia. Not a great deal to see from the Isle. Plenty of traffic here. It's been a really busy day with the Southampton versus Portsmouth football match. That's definitely clogged things up. So we have 4 departures today. It was all a bit strange today. Have a look on ferry cam. If you look at the weather, we've got winds gusting to 20 knots or more. It looks like all the cruise ships are going to be having tug assistance. Yeah, it's not looking very pleasant at all. But in fact, this is probably the best visibility we've had for a little while. So yes, we have 4 departures this evening. The Arvia, she's just underway. He's singling up.
BTS, Norwegian Prima.
The Norwegian Jewel at 5, Norwegian Prima at 5:30.
Norwegian Prima, VTS.
We're single up now, ready to break away from 102 berth, and we'd like to proceed after the Arvia.
Shipmate Robert Eggleshaw says, on Arvia, now expecting 2 metre seas tonight, 5 metre seas tomorrow. Oh.
Norwegian Prima, VTS, are you waiting for a tug?
Negative. The current wind speed will proceed without the tug.
Norwegian Prima, VTS, understood.
This is so I've had a couple of problems with the Arvia being round the wrong way. But there's a shipmate there who's flying his flag on the stern, who probably wouldn't have thought we'd been able to see it so easily, but we've had a fantastic view of his flag there. Perhaps someone in the chat might recognise where that's from. I did see someone else in the chat was also complaining that they wouldn't be able to see their flag because it's on the other side of the ship. But we will do when it turns out, maybe. So not all is lost. In fact, when she's in this way, we get to see both port side and starboard sides. It looks like the Arvia has the Spitzer bar gate giving her a bit of a pull. I think it was next away with the Norwegian Prima, I think, or Norwegian Jewel. They keep mixing them up. They keep changing the orders. Shipmate there's giving us a wave. He emailed me earlier, said that he'd be on the stern. Excellent job, shipmate. You've done a great job in making your flag fly correctly. We're not getting caught up in all this wind we have today, because it is horribly windy today. I don't know how you've managed that. You must be out some sort of like chewing gum technology there or something. Plenty of shipmates in the chats. I shall come back to you shortly. Get this camera moving. Come on, camera. Yeah, not very pleasant conditions out there at all today. The Arvia is off on a 14-day round trip to Spain and France. I don't know if Paul had a price for that one. No. No. On this cruise, she's calling in at La Coruna in Spain, Malaga in Spain, Alicante in Spain, and then in Toulon in the south of France for the French Riviera for Provence. Then Barcelona in Spain, Cadiz in Spain, and then back to the one for Port Southampton. Hopefully the weather's much better in that neck of the woods because it really has gone downhill lately here. I think we had such a good summer that we were actually disappointed when the weather returns more to normal. I've moved the box cam around the other way because I think one of the other ships is going to depart shortly. Yeah, no, I can't see them just yet. Yeah, visibility not the best today. We're going to struggle seeing the ships as they go down Southampton water, that's for sure. There we go. The raindrops all over the cameras.
BTS Red Jet 7, Northwest Netley, function to carry on with speed.
Red Jet 7 VTS, yes, so it's safe to do so, and the Arvia underway from 46 back.
Well, I'm not sure if that's a flag or a bedsheet. Difficult to tell either way. Visibility is very poor. I think it's actually improved slightly now since what it was earlier. The lifeboats look particularly orangey, don't they, on Arvia? You can see why they're brightly coloured, can't they? In this sort of dreary weather, they really pop. Right, let's have a look. What shipmates do we have? Who's in the chat? Which are our favourite shipmates are in the chat. Let's have a look. Well, shipmate Georgina Stevenson says a heavy rain in the Shire. Yes, indeed. Or there, John M. John M might be a new shipmate. Or there, Mrs. AEO. Heavy rain in Worcestershire as well. I think this is pretty much going to be the theme for the day. Heavy rain everywhere. Or there should make Yodi Git says on Arvia, weather pretty grey and drizzly, won't be much of a picture, I bet. No, you're absolutely right. Not much of a picture today. It's pretty poor out there weather-wise. What else is in the chat? Oh, there's Stu Futter. Oh, there's Leslie R. Strange to see Arvia back in. Wondered why. We've all been wondering why. We think the current thinking is that it's due to the potential high winds. And you can see Arvia actually has tug assistance. So we think it's because of the high winds that Arvia has backed in. And also one of our spanners was suggesting that there was a heavy lifting crane down in the port, down the ocean terminal the other week. And the reason the Arvia backed and the Iona drove in and backed out was because the area of the ship where the gangplank connects to didn't quite correlate with what was on shore, so that's why they had to go in backwards. But
VTS, we'll discover.
But he suggested.
We'll discover VTS.
Yeah, we'll carry 250 on the Marchwood moorings, and we'd like to head back to the Empress, please.
But he suggested that perhaps they've added a new gantry and will move something along there, which would allow them to go in the other way. Because my understanding was they couldn't fit due to logistical reasons. So maybe that's it. Maybe we'll see them round the other way these days. So hopefully people who've made portside cabin bookings to wave a flag won't be too upset when they're on the wrong side of the ship. But this way we get to see both sides, don't we? This way we'll get to see the starboard side that we're looking at now, and then the port side once she turns. The visibility is terrible, though, isn't it? Where else did I get to in the chat? So well, this shipmate Wayno. Well, this shipmate Claire Westerman. The radio's very noisy today as well. Oh, well, this shipmate Jacqueline Prosso. Become a midshipman. Welcome aboard, shipmate May. Thanks for becoming a member of the channel. Make your way down to the galley, grab yourself a mug of grog, and probably put your fog lights on. It's that sort of weather. I'm not quite sure which camera's clearer. This is very unusual to see. We don't normally see the stern so quickly. It means Arvia will depart more quickly if she's facing out, instead of having to reverse out and then slowly spin round. It probably does make it better for the prevailing wind conditions as well, even though she does have a tug today. Oh, the shipmate with the flag is almost can't see it. It's amazing, isn't it, how quickly the visibility is appalling. Oh, I think he's waving, but it's just not very pleasant out there. Well, the shipmate Dean Willis. That's a super powerful gusts in Devon. Or there's Spike, or there's Edward Coates, or there's Pam W. Oh, shipmate Spike has been looking around the steamship Shieldwell earlier, just before the rain. I recommend it even if you can for next year. I think, if I remember correctly, it was the open day today, wasn't it? So I don't think you had to pay to have a little look around. You don't go anywhere. They don't take you anywhere. We don't go out to sea or anything, but I think you can wander around and it's all staffed up, and if you ask them, they'll absolutely full of questions. Very helpful and knowledgeable shipmates on board. If I remember correctly, that's the open day. Or they're Paula Jones, or they're John M, or they're MV Arcadia. Hornies from Arvia. Yeah, to be honest, I did try the outside microphone earlier, but all you could hear was rain. It was absolutely appalling, so I haven't turned it on. You can see the tug there on the stern. Absolutely appalling weather this morning. Oh, the Reverend Morris. Or the Johnny B. Oh, or the Carol Finnis. Many thanks for your kind donation. Absolutely fantastic. I would like to convert that into a pint of the Dancing Man outside, but maybe not today. Well, the shipmate Martin Cummings, why is Queen Mary 2 going at 11? Yeah, this is a good question. Good question I do not have the answer for. Oh, I can't get any views anywhere, can I, with these cameras? I'm going to whiz that one around, right? So it's a little bit busy at the moment because we've got 3 ships leaving at the same time, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's go that way. There we go, yes. So it is Norwegian Prima that's leaving next. Looks like the tugs have finished with Arvia. Here comes Prima. This is the worst conditions we've had for ages, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why. Queen Mary 2 is scheduled to depart at 11 o'clock. And also we've got the Silver Dawn coming in at 11 o'clock as well. It's all very strange. Very odd at the moment. It could be due to the weather, of course. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? don't think we're going to get much of a view of the ships this evening. It's going to be a real struggle. Well, the shipmate Brian Humphrey says that we sailed out on Skye yesterday. Looks like we picked the right day to sail. Oh, you definitely did, shipmate. It was some of the most stunning skies we saw yesterday. Bit of thunder, a bit of rain as well. Helicopters. Oh, yeah, it's a good day yesterday. Good day. Oh, there's Sue Hawks. Oh, there Johnny B. I think I've got everyone now. Chat keeps buzzing. Oh, there's CS28. Well, the shipmate Freebird says, "Ahoy, Captain, watching from our hotel room in Bembridge. Got a sea view. I don't think we're going to see much."
Red Eagle, Northwest Netley, permission to carry on with caution.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're going to see much, shipmate.
Red Eagle, VTS, yes, so safe to do so, and the Norwegian Prima underway from 102.
Yeah, cover the Norwegian Prima, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, these ships aren't actually that far away, and we're already struggling to see them. It's going to be a struggle tomorrow. Can't even really get to see Norwegian Prima's lovely hull. In fact, this is the cruise that Norwegian Prima is on today.
That's all received, thank you. Traffic information, outward bound Hillhead, North Channel, the Coral Methane, and on the West Brambles turn, outward bound the OOCL Vera Cruise.
Oh, yeah, see a couple of tugs passing in the night. Barely see Arvia.
BTS Fargate, we're off Ellis on the Arvia, making our way up to the Norwegian Jewel.
Okay, VTS, that's all, copy, thank you.
Yes. So this is exactly the cruise that...
BTS, Norwegian Jewel.
Norwegian Jewel, VTS, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. 101 berth, we're singling up now. We're going to get underway without the tug.
Norwegian Jewel, VTS, that's all, copy, thank you.
I think the winds must have died down enough for them to depart without a tug. We're still pretty gusty out there, currently 20 knots. Maybe it's just on the limit. I don't quite know what the limit is.
About the tug.
Okay.
BTS Mercurius finished on the Arvia, we're going back to 45.
There we go. Anyway, this is the cruise that Norwegian Prima was off to. It's a 14-night Reykjavik, Belfast and Paris. Does seem like a peculiar combination if you ask me. But as you can see, inside from 11:29, which seems a pretty good deal to me, balconies are full. No more balconies available. Definitely the more desirable options, I think, the balconies. Now, this cruise calls in at Le Havre in France, which they're calling Paris. Then heading up to Belfast in Northern Ireland.
Arvia, VTS, Western Shell, thank you.
And then over to Reykjavik in Iceland, Ilsefjord in Iceland, and then Fury in Iceland. Then heading back over to the fjords, Geringer in Norway, Bergen in Norway, and Stavanger in Norway, and then back to Southampton. So it's a real sort of roundabout cruise, that one. A very interesting itinerary. We get a better view slightly on Cow's Cam, on cruise cam, ferry cam there. Looks like all the ferries are working today. They had a slightly broken down ferry yesterday, which was causing additional traffic problems. Probably get the best view of the bow now on Norwegian Prima.
BTS Red Jet 7 shortly departing Town Quay for Cows.
Red Jet 7 VTS, that's all copy, thank you. Traffic information, head out the Norwegian Prima and the Arvia Western Shelf and the ferry traffic.
That's all copy, thank you.
Yeah, there's a bit of incoming ferry traffic and one of the tugs there. Although apparently Norwegian Jewel doesn't need the tugs. So far, I have not had any numbers. I've had the radio on, but not the entire time. Norwegian Prima. She is 3 years old, built in 2022. It's got maximum capacity of double occupancy at 3,215 or a maximum occupancy of just under 4,000. So I'm guessing there's probably around about 3,000 people on board. The cruise ships are starting to leave port, just a little lighter at the moment. See the Norwegian Prima sign is lit up brightly. Can't see any flags, but then visibility is terrible this evening. Next away is the Norwegian Jewel.
That's Calvi.
Yeah, not a lot going on over there. Fancy something on Prima a little bit later. There's a Baltic, German, Belgium, Swedish cruise coming up. Just having a look on Netley Cam, see if we can see anything on Netley Cam. The answer is predominantly no. I'm actually trying to find Arvia with the with Netley Cam. I'll show you on the screen. It is tricky.
Roger, 6 VTS, that's all copy, thank you. Traffic information, outward bound Dean's Elbow, the Arvia, followed by the Norwegian Prima, passing Ocean Dock. And then shortly underway from 101 Beth will be the Norwegian Jewel and the ferry traffic.
There you go, that's Arvia. Oh, I think it's coming in again, this weather. It's been like it's on and off all day.
Security, security, security. All stations, all stations, all stations. This is Southampton VTS with a strong wind warning. Information, wind speeds within the Southampton VTS area are currently at Dockhead from the west-southwest direction, 25 knots, gusting 29 knots. The wind speeds within the Southampton VTS area at the NAB are from the south-southwest direction, 26 knots, gusting 37 knots. Advice, all vessels anchored within the Southampton VTS area are to have their main engines and windlasses at immediate readiness and to maintain a good anchor watch. This is Southampton VTS app.
Yep, that has suddenly picked up. I'd noticed that. I could see things fluttering around out there and the rain.
Arvia VTS, yes, I'm ready.
Oh, I can't hear Arvia. Must be the rain. She's coming in with her figures, isn't she? Oh, I could probably change the Netley radio. Be perfect, wouldn't it?
Arvia VTS, the crew figure was a bit distorted. Is it 1680? Arvia VTS, all copy, thank you.
Oh, I don't know. Didn't hear what the passenger numbers were. Couldn't hear on the radio, I'm afraid. I'll put that down to water in the air. can see the ferry coming in. Oh my word. We've not had weather like this for ages. Should just be thankful when it's really good, shouldn't we? Yeah, it's causing havoc with my radio as well. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we got the other one. Norwegian Jewel is on the loose. Well, shipmate spikes, it was 16 C's something. Well, yeah, it was. It was. I did notice that. No. Yes, 18 centigrade. No, it's really odd out there. It feels very tropical. You've got. There you go. Then I'll follow a bit more of Norwegian Prima. I wonder which way Norwegian Jewel's going. I wonder if she's reversing down to the swing ground or heading to the upper swing ground. Yes, it feels very tropical out there. It's pretty odd. It just feels like I'm in a tropic. It's warm, humid, wet and windy. It's, it's continuing the flavour of odd weather. Well, I could look at the map, couldn't I? Why don't I look at the map, Captain? Oh, yeah, I know she will be reversing to the middle swing ground. So, yeah, she'll be coming to the middle swing ground here, so that's why we can see her on box cam. Right, Norwegian... I think I'm going to have to leave the radio off. It's just too noisy at the moment. I think it's because of all the atmospheric conditions. That's what I'm going to blame it on anyway. The Norwegian Jewel is next away. And she is off on a 11-day one-way trip to Barcelona. Again, it's quite an interesting itinerary. Actually, it's taking a little time. He leaves Southampton and arrives in the Netherlands. Then calls in at Zeebrugge for Bruges. Then Le Havre in France. Then Porto in Portugal. Lisbon in Portugal. Then Cadiz in Spain. Malaga in Spain. Ibiza in the Balearic Islands. And then Palma de Mallorca in the Balearic Islands. And then Barcelona in Spain. I wonder if our next cruise will be the... Oh, no. No, that's it. This is the last time we'll be seeing Norwegian Jewel. I think this is the first ship of the year that's going to be disappearing on us. Yeah, so Norwegian Jewel is heading to Barcelona. Then once she's in Barcelona, she'll be then taking a 12-day one-way cruise from Barcelona to Miami. She'll leave Barcelona, calls in at Cadiz, then Ponta Delgado in the Azores, and then into Miami, Florida. Now, this is the sort of cruise that I would like to do. Prices start at this for about £600 for an inside cabin for a 12-day cruise to Miami. Hopefully the weather's going to be good. In fact, I'm going to get my map out, because my map with the weather conditions up. Now, I'm really enjoying the weather on that. Have a look at the wind, shall we? What's the wind? Ooh. Aye. Not very pleasant. You seem to be constantly stuck. Well, you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Because you can't see it on the screen. I'll show you the weather map. It is not very nice. There's a very windy bits here. That's the best way I can describe that. You're talking 40 to 60 knots of wind here. And even down here, that's still quite windy. I think might have an unpleasant cruise for some of these ships departing this evening, shipmates. Norwegian Jewel on the turn there. Yeah, that's looking horrible weather. Yeah, so that's the last we'll see of Norwegian Jewel. Then she's based in Miami for the winter. Then in the summer, she's based in Philadelphia. Then she's back to Miami, winter. And then looks like next summer after that, summer in 2027, she'll be in the Balta, Helsinki, Copenhagen area. So yeah, I don't think we've seen much of Norwegian Prima in port. Norwegian Jewel. To be honest, we can't see much for this evening either. Oh well. Hoy there should be Chris Dieter. We had fun before our departure wandering around town looking for the cruise and port camps. Found them. Very good. That's always a bit of a challenge for some people, isn't it? Shipmate Nicholas Saw says that weather map looks horrible. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Really does not look very pleasant at all. Well, the shipmate Nick Brownlee says, watching from 28 centigrade Sorrento, 2 Carnival cruise ships in Naples today, and Arvia, very exclusive cruise ship moored up in Sorrento Bay. Oh, I don't know that one. Arvia. Ooh. Well, I'd have to say that I'm very jealous of your weather conditions. I'm going to try the radio again, see if it behaves itself. It is just shocking weather. One here on Norwegian Star for 14 nights. I was surprised at the cost of the mini suite. Almost £6,000 for 14 nights. But I suppose a mini suite's not so bad. You probably get all sorts of luxury benefits on that. We're even struggling to see Norwegian Jewel, aren't we? Well, you think that's bad over on Southampton Water. There is a cruise ship there to the right-hand side coming past. Ooh, it is rotten. I think we've really got it here because I'm looking over on Cow's Cow and it looks much better. I think we're just in a real thick of it like we were yesterday. Yeah, Norwegian Jewel, one of the older ships in the Norwegian fleet. I'm not exactly sure where she comes, but she's got to be, I'm not sure if she's the oldest, but she's got to be getting up there with potentially one of the oldest. Built in 2005, making her 20 years old. I'm going to have to keep the radio off because it seems to be really suffering at the moment with the static. So I'll leave it off the moment. But I'm guessing she's probably got somewhere in the region of, well, she's got a maximum occupancy of 2,388 double occupancy and a maximum occupancy of 2,866. So I'd imagine she's probably got around 2,000 passengers on board. And interestingly, she was christened by Melania Trump, no less. The lovely lady wife of Donald Trump. And she's last refurbished this year. Well, the shipmate Nigel Montford says on Queen Mary 2 right now. Well, keep yourself dry, shipmates. Yeah, you're not going to be departing for quite a while. Shipmate Nicholas Saw says, just looked out the window, can't see the hills. No, I can't see anything. It's really terrible this evening. In fact, I think this is the worst conditions we've had for ages. Been enjoying a beautiful summer. No mind, perhaps it will get better as it carries on. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be too many people out on deck. Shipmate Randy Barnes, yes, Melania Trump. I didn't know she'd christened cruise ships. That was, I'm guessing she christened it back in 2005. So she would have been. I mean, Donald would have been. What would Donald been doing in 2005? Would he have been? I don't know what he would have been doing back then. Famous enough though for his wife to christen a cruise ship. Shipmate Nigel Mumford said, "Oh, we've got a flag. Will it show up from down here, or do we need to make it further up?" Well, I don't know. Where are you? Which ship are you on? Are you on Jewel? if you're on Jewel, you need to give me a bit of a hint where you are, because I'm not seeing a great deal at all today. Even though Jewel's got a very brightly coloured hull, it's very difficult to see. Yep, can't see anybody out on the top deck. Can't see anyone out on their balcony. I think I'd probably settle in, find a little quiet corner somewhere, one of the bars. Have a rum-based cocktail. Start reading a good murder mystery novel. Oh, no, I see someone. Someone brave up there, walking on the top deck. I've updated my anti-pigeon technology and I think it's working well now. Paul from Upclose says, yeah, Donald was probably making the busy bankrupt. The casino busy making the casino bankrupt in 2005. Yeah, I'm not sure on his... I'm trying to think what he was doing in 2005. I should know. I was living in the States at the time. Well, shipmate Spikes, Norwich is not a fan of Norwegian's hull designs. Yeah, if I'm honest, I don't like the older ones. This like we have here on this ship. I quite like Prima's though. I think Prima's is quite attractive. I don't mind that one. Well, the shipmate Loz says, just come back today from a lovely 2-week cruise on Arvia. The weather was amazing. Well, I bet the weather was a little bit better than it is today here in the Port of Southampton. I was wondering why it was so bad, and I brought up the weather map. Well, I brought up the ship map. It must be a storm, although I don't remember there being any names of any storms on the radio, on the television. They normally talk about Storm Rupert or something, don't they? There was some storm with a name. But this is what's happening at the moment. This big depression here.
VTS Red Jet 6, Lindsay Elbow inboard and permission to carry on speed. I will stay outside the reds for the outbound traffic.
For instance...
Red Jet 6, VTS, yes, it's safe to do so. Dock head 4.52.
4.52, copy, thank you.
So we've got wind speeds here in the English Channel round between sort of 30 and 40 knots, especially out here, and this is getting more like 40 to 60 knots. So it's going to be very unpleasant if you had to be sailing down that way, which of course these two ships will be. Let's see if we can see anything on Netley Cam. Nope. Norwegian Jewel, of course, heading down to Barcelona on a one-way trip. In fact, she's going to Holland first, which is probably not a bad thing. Then she's heading over to Bruges in Belgium. And then Le Havre in Paris. So perhaps by the time she comes back this way, the weather might have abated slightly. Well, shipmate Hans, we've got a ship for you today, Hans. It's the Norwegian Prima. We'll be stopping in Bergen on the 25th of September. So there you go. Get yourself down there. Well, the shipmate Nathan Harrington is also back on Arvia today, 2 weeks around the Med. Peaked at 35 in Seville on Thursday. Lovely couple of weeks, although the CPS parking system at Ocean Terminal is so slow. Okay. Well, can't really be avoided, I suppose, can it? Well, I'm glad you had a good time. You probably picked, frankly, shipmate, you picked a good couple of weeks to go away, because the weather here has been quite wet for the last couple of weeks. I know how wet it is, because the Iron Horse has been in the garage for a long time. In fact, it's been there for so long, I suspect if I try and start the Iron Horse up, it'll have a flat battery. If it carries on like this, I should be putting it away for the season. Yes, I don't think I managed to drone Norwegian Jewel. Shipmate Hans from Norway. He's very big on giving me pronunciation lessons. Trouble is, I always struggle with the pronunciation because it's spelt in English letters and in an English way, and then I end up speaking it in English. It's the captain's slightly limited ability of foreign languages. Speaking of which, in case you're wondering, shipmates, I am the captain of the Solent Ships YouTube channel, broadcasting to you live and direct from the port of Southampton. If you had 45 minutes on the Captain's Banner Bingo, you are the winner. I think it's not Malloy, is it? It's like Milloy? Millay, isn't it? I think. Sounds, that's right, it reminds me somewhere in the Far East. Sounds what it sounds like more than anything else. Well, shipmate Andrew says, doesn't fancy Bay of Biscay this time of year. No, I quite agree with you. He said, is it banner time? Funny enough, I've just done the banner. Bay of Biscay, actually, Bay of Biscay is not looking too bad. It's off the south coast of Ireland that's looking really nasty. Even the Irish Sea is looking a bit iffy, and up the coast near Scotland. Expensive being things more like Malay, I don't know. It's very difficult. There we go. There is that awful weather. But see, the Bay of Biscay, not looking too bad, especially here. Very calm. The Mediterranean looking lovely. I think that's where the Norwegian Jewel goes to shortly. Will be very nice.
BTS Seagreen, I'm all finished on 103 berth. I'm now bound 101.
Seagreen, VTS, all copy, thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be some bumpy weather for somebody out there somewhere. Well, shipmate Nicholas Saw says, can't believe we're on the beach all day Tuesday. Which beach were you on, shipmate? It's quite impressive you were on the beach all day Tuesday. Paul from Love Cruise thinks the Bay of Biscay gets a bad reputation, I think. Well, it does, and rightly so. It's known it's got a nickname amongst lots of sailors as the great big washing machine because of the way the sort of two coast of France and the coast of Spain are, and the weather comes in, it can just churn it up awfully. A friend of mine who sails quite a lot, he said he had his life flash before his eyes experience as he was sailing across the Bay of Biscay. could use itching cam for a bit. Shipmate Shepherd Hook says, yes, it looks like the setting of a mystery novel, in particular parts of Victorian London area. Yes, it does. It looks like the foggy, a bit of a pea souper, I think that would be the correct expression. The next away is the Queen Mary 2. Not until 11 o'clock at night. And also, I think the Silver Dawn's coming in. It's all a bit confusing. I don't know if that's weather-related issues. Actually, I don't know where the Queen Mary 2 is off to. Where is she off to? Queen Mary 2 is off... Oh, she's doing a... Oh, she's off to Ireland. First trip is Cork in the Republic of Ireland. Wow, okay, that's not going to be the best place to go. Oh, I wonder if she's even going to bother with that. So Queen Mary 2's first destination is somewhere down here, wherever Cork is. And this is quite windy. That'll be very unpleasant. Shipmate Nicholas saw, oh, she's in Burling Gap in Sussex. Oh, I like Burling Gap. I took a fantastic picture of the lighthouse. That's Burling Gap, isn't it? The lighthouse that's down there? Or is that Beachy? No, it's Beachy Head, isn't it? Not Burling Gap. Shipmate Hattons from, I won't say the Malay. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's yes, Goal Island, Jail Island. It is very unpleasant weather.
BTS, Norwegian Jewel, Western Shelf.
Norwegian Jewel, BTS, Western Shelf, thank you. Traffic information, inward bound on the Carol Shot 10, Riddlesborough.
Thank you.
Oh, shipmate Sarah, I was asking when the last time, does the captain know when the last time we'll see Queen Mary 2 this season? Well, we see her in out of port quite a lot. No, she's always here, really. We don't really not see her, but if I'm just having a quick scan, I would say probably January the 11th, because then she heads off on a 109-day world voyage. That's probably the last time we'll see her. Then she's away all the way until June. But up until that point, yeah, we'll see her quite a bit. She's here in a couple of weeks' time, then end of October, beginning of November, middle of November, end of November. There we go. I think that's the Arvia. Tricky to tell. Yep, she's pretty much here, but yeah, 109-day round the world cruise is what she'll be starting on the 19th of January. That looks quite phenomenal, I've got to say. Prices start from, I'm guessing this is for inside, from about £22,000 per person. This is for Queen Mary 2's 109-day world cruise, and she'll call at, so she goes transatlantic first, calls at New York, then the Antilles Islands, then through the Panama Canal to Manzanillo on the Mexican Riviera, then Los Angeles in California, USA, San Francisco in California, Honolulu in Hawaii, another Kona in Hawaii, then Papeete in the French Polynesian Islands in Tahiti, and then Moorea in the Society Islands in French Polynesia. Then all the way down to New Zealand, where she calls it the Bay of Islands in New Zealand, Auckland in New Zealand, Tauranga in Rotorua in New Zealand, Sydney in New South Wales and Australia, Brisbane in Australia, Yorkeys Knob in Queensland, Australia, Darwin in the Northern Territories, then heads up to Bitong in Indonesia, Hong Kong, ex-British territory overseas, Da Nang in Vietnam, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, then Mauritius, Durban in South Africa, Cape Town in South Africa, Namibia, Dakar in Senegal, then Santa Cruz to Tenerife, the Canary Islands, and then Cadiz in Spain. So quite the world cruise there. Looking very unpleasant. Well, the shipmate checkbook, I just estimated the exchange rate there. Just give it a bit of destination. By the time you pay for everything, it'll be more than $23,000 for sure.
Norwegian Prima VTS took out, thank you. Watch clear via bound Red Osprey. There's no other immediate inward bound traffic.
So the radio's behaving itself now. Well, their shipmate Chris Buster has just got off Queen Mary this morning. A lot of problems. Well, for us anyway. I wonder what your problems were, Chris. Let us know. Well, the shipmate Andrews, have I had any horns? We had some horns from Arvia earlier, but all I could hear on the outside microphone really was the pitter-patter of rain. Oh, your shipmate Randy Barnes says, oh, that's a good point. Yes, you'll see both queens together in Long Beach. Yes, that's true. The original Queen Mary and Queen Mary 2. I didn't realise, I was talking to some shipmates were talking the other day, that I didn't realise that Queen Mary's got a whole lot of ghost tours and things. You can stay on board Queen Mary, and there are some ghost tours apparently. There's all sorts of unexplained things happen on there. I can just about see one of the ships there heading down Southampton water. I think that must be Norwegian Jewel. But yes, who knows this day and age? All this terrible weather. Well, the shipmate Sarel sounds like a real adventure. I guess the double price if you want to go solo. Probably. I don't know if Queen Mary 2 has any single cabins. Probably Paul from Love's Cruise knows. I think she might have one or two. Well, the shipmate Baz and Lou, or Baz and Jew, sorry. Well, Captain, we'll try again with the county flag on Cowes Camp. We're at deck 11 forward. Lovely weather. Yes. Yeah, it's not the best weather, is it?
Waverly, VTS, good.
Yeah, it's very difficult weather. I wonder where's Waverly then? Waverly was down in Portsmouth earlier. Shipmate Johnny B says, yes, the Queen Mary is haunted.
Waverly, VTS, that's all received, thank you. And no reported outward bound traffic in the North Channel.
I definitely think a Mediterranean cruise would be something I would have in mind with this sort of weather. The P&O Arvia, she is heading off on a 14-day round trip, Spain and France, hoping for much better weather down there. She's calling in at La Coruna in Spain, Malaga in Spain. So she's gone. That goes.
Yes, Red. Osprey hooking.
That's through past Gibraltar.
Red Osprey, BTS hooking, thank you. And watch clear of the outbound Norwegian Jewel at Lanes Lake. Now for immediate traffic.
Alicante in Spain, then Toulon in the south of France for the Provence, the French Riviera. And then Barcelona in Spain, then Cadiz in Spain, and back home. It's got to be some nice weather. Shipmate Commander Bragg says 15 solo rooms on Queen Mary 2. I think, yeah, I thought there were some. I seem to remember seeing somebody in a solo room on Queen Mary 2. I don't remember if it was Emma Cruz or Fraser at Sea or someone like that.
Arvia cruise, BTS at 4 receive, thank you. And traffic information, have inward bound approaching bank bridge number 5, the vessel Arrow. She's inward bound to anchor at St Helens.
Shipmate Chris.
Call me, thanks, BTS.
Shipmate Chris Buster says had some unexplained things happen on Queen Mary the last few days. Interesting. I seem to remember that she was late leaving on that cruise. Apparently the pilot said he needed to send someone down to the engine room with a big hammer. Looking a little choppy out there in the Solent. I can see one brave shipmate out on deck towards the aft. Shipmate Brain Twigs says the Queen Mary 2 single staterooms are forward. There we go. Not been on Queen Mary 2 myself. I was looking at some of the pricing on Queen Mary 2, and I noticed that some of them were quite reasonable. Let me see if I can find one that I thought was reasonable. There was a end of October. There's New York to Southampton, and that's coming in at sort of $600 odd per person. Obviously for an inside. I'll be tempted with that. Probably going transatlantic at that time of year, not the smoothest of rides.
BTS Red Jet 6, Town Quay house, please.
Red Jet 6, BTS, all received traffic information. Norwegian Jewel, cabin outbound clear channel, and Norwegian Prima cash offset outbound clear channel. So.
Nice copy.
We don't have too many more departures for Arvia. He's heading off to Spain again after this cruise and another Spanish trip. And then the end of October, she heads out to Barbados. And she'll be based in the Caribbean over the winter. Very sensible thing to do, really.
BTS.
Oh, I see a flag.
Eagle shortly departing Royal PFCAS.
I see a flag. Shipmate there with a flag.
Red Eagle, BTS, all received. Just approach traffic currently.
Yeah, it's copied, thank you.
Can't quite work out what that flag is. Well done, though, shipmates. Thank you for braving the elements.
Red at 7 BTS, all received. Cash out is 4.58. Traffic information, Arvia Consort, Norwegian Prima, approaching for Gap outbound, clear channel, and Norwegian Jewel cabins outbound.
Yeah, so it really will be getting very quiet. like I say, beginning the end of October. Well, like I say, I think Norwegian Jewel departure's day is the first ship that's leaving port and not coming back. Don't think we've had any before. Shipmate Jane Welch says he says he booked on Queen Victoria over the Christmas break. Spur of the moment thing. Going solo in a balcony cabin. I'm going to spend 12 days in the spa. A present to yourself, perhaps, I think. Well, shipmate Hans, where's Iona today? Iona is, I think she's heading towards the field somewhere. Probably mid North Sea. Yeah, in the middle of the North Sea, shipmate, just off the Norfolk coast. Heading up to Stavanger. There we go. There is Iona. At least they've got gentle seas over there. I did see one shipmate in the chat earlier saying that they're forecasting 5-metre swells. Quite like a good swell myself. Well, shipmate Andrews, have got any cruises tomorrow? Yes, we have 3 cruise ships tomorrow. The Silver Dawn, the Emerald Princess, and the Disney Fantasy. I don't know what the weather's like for tomorrow. Hopefully it's good enough that we can hear the Disney Fantasy. Not too many more Disney Fantasy departures. Tomorrow's weather looks, oh my word, very windy tomorrow. 40-mile-an-hour plus winds. But it looks like it should be dry, so it might be okay. Oh, shipmate, really back to the chat, shipmate Linda Savage. That she had a friend got back yesterday on MSC Virtuosa from a cruise around the Bay of Biscay, northern Spain and western France. Her first and last cruise. She had seasickness every day and also had a fall. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, it can be a bit bumpy. It's certainly going to be bumpy for some of these ships. In fact, I'm just looking at this. I'm thinking even MSC Virtuosa's probably... MSC Virtuosa is just catching a bit of the edge of it. What's there? Aquarius Ace, no. The Celebrity Apex and the Sky Princess. All these 3 cruise ships are just catching the edge of this wind. So it's currently 27 knots. Is the wind speed on Sky Princess. Celebrity Apex 27 knots as well, and 27 knots on MSC Virtuosa. So yeah, that's pretty windy. We'll be having definitely a rough old time. Still see the bit of flag flying there from our shipmate, doing a sterling job getting his flag on display. Shipmate David Adams is on Iona next Saturday, Spain and Portugal. Yes, that's the first non-fjordy trip. Fjordian? Is that such a thing? Next, the first non-fjord trip of the season. And then she'll be heading down to warmer climes for a while. So this cruise the Norwegian Prima. Guys, you could get a clearer view. The weather is definitely better here in the Solent off of Cowscam here. Norwegian Prima, she's off on this 14-day round trip to Reykjavik, Belfast and Paris. Interesting that it's full for the balconies. Inside cabins are available. I've just noticed Paul put children's sale from £139 per person, but isn't this term time? Are you allowed to take the children out, or perhaps you homeschool them? Get a better view of Norwegian Prima's whole graphics here. I quite like it. I like the way the whole graphics also go up the front of the ship as well. It's more cohesive. Shipmate Shepherdbook's been doing some research. He says, solo traveller on that Queen Mary 2 100-night cruise we were talking about earlier, around the world. Balcony, of course. Balcony for a solo traveller, yes, of course. £54,388. And I presume that doesn't include any drinks packages or Wi-Fi connectivity or anything. That's just your basic room and board. Look at the weather. It's really windy out there, isn't it? What is the wind speed on Prima then? Yep, 25 knots wind on Prima, so yeah, it's pretty windy out there. You can see the spray blowing around. Something for this year, heading up to Germany, Belgium and Sweden. Yeah, that's choppy water out there. Not surprised there's not too many. Well, there's a few sailboats out and about. Must be hardy souls. And we'll probably see one or two in a second. One sailboat's called Ugly Duckling. The other one's Aqua Therapy. Another one's called Jack Hanna. I think we might see one or two of those shortly. This one I was looking at earlier. Iceland, Norway and Belgium. One-way cruise for 11 nights, but up to a £250 airfare credit on selected cabins. Shipmate Svetlana Goldberg says, where are the people? I would think they're being sensible, probably at the buffet, holding on to something, or maybe having a nice rum-based cocktail somewhere. Probably have a dark and stormy. That would probably be my preferred. That would be my preferred choice of cocktail. Oh, the shipmate Joey says it's the first of 4 leaving today. No, the last leaving today will be Queen Mary 2. That's 11 o'clock this evening. Shipmate Shepherdbook doing some calculations. £40,000. Well, that's crossing. And that's the 109-day solo traveller with a balcony. Oh, I think I just heard some thunder on the outside microphone. There's the slide, which is very similar to the one on Norwegian Aqua. I assumed it took you down to the buffet, but apparently it doesn't. I've been missold on that one. Yep, nobody's out on the balconies, are they? All sensibly inside. Yeah, £40,000, not too bad. I think I'll probably book up one for next year. £40,000 ago. I wonder how much internet connectivity costs you on Queen Mary 2 for 109 days. Probably more than some people pay for a cruise. Well, they should make certain check. Thought Queen Mary 2 is supposed to leave at 5:30. No, she's not due to leave until 11 o'clock this evening. Not entirely sure why. Could be technical issues. Last time she was in port, she needed to be hit with a big hammer. As you can see, the weather in port here is not very pleasant. It's still struck down with some drizzle everywhere. Well, she's cleared up a bit. I can actually see something that way. Oh, excellent speller Hades has been doing some research for me. The mere 109-day cruise on Queen Mary 2, you'd pay approximately $2,180 for the essential plan, or $3,000 for the premium plan. I think I could probably live without internet connectivity for a few days. 109 days, not so sure about. Although I suppose if I did 109 days blogging every day, that'd be a real challenge. That would. Well, there should be. Leslie R said, has traffic been to add today? Read that 20 families missed check-in by 20 minutes due to being stuck in traffic. Traffic has been bad, but I'm surprised they've missed check-in by 25 minutes. Traffic has been bad in port. Yes, but not that bad. I suppose it depends on what time you were checking in. If you had to check in by 3 o'clock and you arrived in port at about 2 o'clock, then that would be troublesome because that's when the game ended. Oh, I don't know where you heard that, shipmate Leslie R, but that's a bit of a shame for those people. That's why quite a lot of the shipmates we hear like to arrive the night before and stay in a local hotel. Because the traffic is very problematic. See, Waverly's actually coming up the North Channel. This is the North Channel here. So all the large ships head around this channel here, around Bramble Bank. But the smaller vessels can go up the North Channel here. So Waverly's on her way. I can't see it's going to be particularly pleasant if you're out on Waverly today. It'll be very pleasant indeed, I think. Windy, wet. Yeah, not really what you want. Next on our screens shortly will be the Norwegian Jewel. think it is actually clearing up a bit. I'm debating whether or not to follow Queen Mary 2's departure, because if the weather's like this, I don't think there's a lot of point. It's going to be dark. It won't be much to see.
Station calling VTS.
Yeah, oh, it is clearing up a bit.
Solent Cat VTS, that's all received. Traffic information. The Arvia's at Mother Bank outbound and Norwegian Primer at the North Point outbound.
Here we go. Here comes Norwegian Jewel.
BTS, Red Jet 7.
Right, that's 7 VTS. You may proceed with safe to do so.
Thank you.
Excellent about age, he says. Yeah, the Wi-Fi package on Queen Mary 2 for a 109-day cruise is more than he paid for a cruise around the fields. Yes, more than like 3 times what I paid for my last cruise. Actually, well, it's probably not quite fair. Yeah, no, it was actually. It was good. Well, actually, no. I think on Norwegian Aqua. Yeah, it was. I think it was £700 for the cruise, and then the drinks package and the Wi-Fi. I think it came to about another £700 on top. I think it was double the price.
VTS,
Why not VTS?
I'm just away from American Wharf, coming down to stand by in Waverly, over.
Why not VTS? All received, thank you.
BTS, White Horse, likewise.
White North VTS, all received, thank you. Arrow, Southampton VTS, that's all received, thank you. And traffic information. 2 outbound cruise ships in the central Solent, the Arvia approaching North Sturbridge and the Norwegian Prima at North Point.
Oh, what did you make? CS28? There's plenty of snug places in the dry on Waverly. That's good to know. I've never been on Waverly. Does Waverly have a little bar on board? 'Cause I know Shield Hall has a little bar. And yes, shipmate CS28. Yes, I do. I know I have something to do. I know I have a backlog. I do need to get on with it. I know. Slightly in a busy spot at the moment with work, but once that's done, this probably the end of this week, then I'll have a bit more time to catch up on some films. Probably when there's left live stream as well. Shipmate package, what track am I using? I'm using myshiptracking.com. I find it very good. I like the imagery. I like the weather overlay, the chart overlay. It's very good. It's my new favourite ship tracking app at the moment. They've all got their advantages and disadvantages, but I'm currently enjoying my ship tracking. I supply the AIS information to them, so I get an advert-free premium, free of charge. It's very handy. Yeah, it's not looking very pleasant at all out there.
BTS, Red Osprey, pipeline inbound.
Red Osprey VTS, pipeline, you may proceed with speed if safe to do so.
Thank you.
That Norwegian Jewel is heading off for the last time here. We will not see her again. She's departing on a one-way cruise to Barcelona, calling in at the Netherlands first, which is probably a good idea. Should keep out of the way of the weather for a bit. Then Bruges in Belgium, then Le Havre in France, then heading down towards Porto in Portugal, Lisbon in Portugal, then Cadiz in Spain, Malaga in Spain, Ibiza in the Balearic Islands, and then Mallorca in the Balearic Islands, and then arriving in Barcelona in Spain. Then the next cruise after that is a 12-day one-way cruise to Barcelona. From Barcelona to Miami. And that calls in Cadiz in Spain, Ponta Delgado in the Azores, and then arrives in Miami, Florida. And that prices in at something like, about £700 for a transatlantic. Then the Norwegian Jewel will be based in Miami and Tampa over the winter and spring. Philadelphia next summer. Then Miami in next winter. And then next summer, or summer of 2027, she'll be based in Helsinki and Copenhagen. Notice with some of the older ships, as they turn around the cowshot spit here, they do get quite a lean on, don't they? Probably see Waverly shortly. She's heading up the North Channel at 13 knots. Norwegian Jewel currently at 10 knots, experiencing 25 knots of wind. And I'm pretty sure that's making a lean. Shipmate John Lord says they've done Waverly and it was packed. We stood out on deck the whole time round the Isle of Wight. If it's like that, there will be some very wet passage aboard. I know, that's what I was thinking the other day when Shield Hall came in. It looks very wet indeed. I noticed the weather here. We are still experiencing quite high winds here. I don't think the precipitation works on this weather because it never says anything. 80 degrees C though, remarkably warm, but gusting somewhere in the region of 23 knots. Should be able to see the chop on the front of Norwegian Prima as she heads round here. We'll be next live on Monday at Oh, that's interesting. Ah, okay. Well, there's only 2 ships now on Monday because the Emerald Princess is now leaving Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock Tuesday morning. That's interesting. I think this bad weather is causing lots of ships to change their schedules. So we've got the Queen Mary 2 departing at 11 o'clock this evening. Then tomorrow, on Monday, we have the Disney Fantasy departing at 4:45, same time she always does. Silver Dawn departing at 9 o'clock at night. And then Tuesday, the Regal Princess departs at 4 in the evening. MSC Preziosa departs at 8 in the evening. And the Emerald Princess departs at 7 in the morning. Those two other ships will arrive. Yeah, the other two ships will arrive, and then once the two cruise ships, MSC Preziosa and Regal Princess are in, the Emerald Princess will go out. Very strange set of movements going on at the moment. Well, shipmate Nicholas Saw. This is right off to some cooking. Lovely and interesting live stream. Thank you again, Captain. Thank you, shipmates. It's not. I think yesterday's was really exciting. We had all sorts yesterday. Thunder, lightning, lots of horns, fantastic weather. We had Shield Hall, Waverly, helicopters dropping people onto ships. Oh, it was all very interesting yesterday. But I'm just noticing the weather's even gusting more. Just notice on ferry cam here, looks gusting to 35 knots. Whoa, that is very unpleasant. Yeah, it's coming in again. I don't think I'm going to cover Queen Mary 2 departing at 11, just because I think it's going to be very difficult to see much on the screen. I think it's going to be too wet and windy and dark. Yeah, so I'm not sure when I'll be live next, because it looks like a bit problematic with all these various cruises. Anyway, shipmates, I hope you've enjoyed that one. We'll certainly be live tomorrow at some point, and Tuesday at some point as well. Could be another early morning one on Tuesday. And then we've got quite a few shipmates, quite a few ship movements during the week. In fact, we've got 3 on Friday this week. 2 on Saturday, 2 on the Sunday, 1 and none on the Monday. So Friday is actually quite a busy day. Yeah, it's looking quite unpleasant out there. I was hoping my weather app would give me information about wave heights.
Veracruz, Southampton, VTS.
No, wind pressure, temperature, wind, yeah. Oh, the shipmate Jackie 67. I have a question. We'll answer away then, shipmate. We'll have a few minutes of this broadcast left.
Veracruz, VTS. There is no further reported inbound traffic. There is a Caribbean Star not yet called in. They are 10 nautical miles southwest of the Nav Tower.
Our shipmate Jackie wants to know why there's a White Link ferry in Southampton. Ah, good question. Well spotted. Yes, the White Link ferry. There's often a White Link ferry in Southampton. Well, I say often. We do get them in here occasionally. I believe they're in here for maintenance. There we go. There's the White Link. It's the White Sky. It's the Livingston to Yarmouth ferry. She's here in. You can see her on cruise cam occasionally. Oh, it's very noisy on the radio still. Shipment bathroom payments are refit. Yeah, they are. They're often here for refits or maintenance or something. Occasionally you see them rushing up the Southampton water. Right, shipmates, hope you've enjoyed that one. Okay, we were back tomorrow and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday, I'm not quite sure what times because it all seems very odd with all this heavy rain and strange weather at the moment. If you haven't subscribed, please do think about subscribing. It does help the channel out. Spreads the word. Lots of shipmates would like to know about the channel, I'm sure. And if you have subscribed, many thanks. And to all my PayPal donors, patrons, members of the channel, thank you very much for your support. And of course, many thanks to Blue Spanner crew for looking after this chat, but also looking after all the other chats. So until next time, shipmates,